disclaimer. It's nothing but that YouTube fair disclaimer. Can you dig it? I guess it's Doug. Can you dig it? Shout out to everybody that's pulling up in the building. Pardon me for being a little bit behind schedule. I was outside with the dog. Nerd, I see you in the building. City Bam, I see you in the building. Dog Soldier, I see you in the building. Shots, I see you in the building. Y'all come on in here and get some of this motherfucking love. You are now rocking with the best. And do me a favor, Nerd. Make sure you put up my man Aggressive Defiance handle in the chat. If y'all got wrenches, put up Aggressive Defiance handle in the chat. I like his style. Shout out to Aggressive Defiance. Shout out to Dog Soldier for putting me up on the bedroom channel and all that. I like him. I really do like his style. As of right now, he doing what he do, you know. Drop Guard, I see you in the building, beloved. Salute. Ain't nothing but another day alive, another day free. And if y'all want to know, I'm smoking on some wait. Yo, Dread, I'm smoking some original Girl Scout fucking cookie. This ain't no Zah. This is that OG. I got some official Girl Scout cookie. Got me thinking about cookie. Just like Cookie off motherfucking Empire. So I got some of that cookie just like Cookie. That makes sense to y'all? I got the cookie like Cookie. I got the cookie like Cookie. Shout out to all my cats from NYC, but you know where I'm from. Shout out to all my cats from NYC. But y'all know where I'm from, right? So if y'all know, let's go. Let's go. That's just me shitting on the world, baby. It's your boy. It's the Brooklyn anthem, y'all. Green Eyes, we got him in the building.
I'm Bill Blast, Cool G-Rack, crack spots in Brooklyn with an 18 raised the
Green
murder
Eyes
rate
in the
out
building.
Brooklyn. Tight robbed his own mom's church in Brooklyn. We was wild in the tunnel, niggas got their shots took.
Boy, I'm so Brooklyn, niggas know my name. Shit they said every time a nigga missing their chain.
I
Had
swear.
to do it for the dollars, I ain't do it for fame. Had to shoot 100 niggas just
It's
to
the
work on
practice,
my
my
aim.
name.
We ain't aiming at your leg, double tapping your brain.
Leave his body on the floor, blood flow in the drain.
They light candles on his ass, we gon' spit through a game.
For 40 days, 40 nights, niggas making it rain.
You get knocked for that body, better not say a name.
Shit, we took the same oath, my chain and your chain.
I'm from the old Brooklyn, nigga, you know how we play.
This whole team get it.
Hold up, y'all. If y'all from Brooklyn, if y'all from NYC, let's get right, y'all.
Let's go,
If y'all from NYC, let's get right. This is the anthem, y'all. Brooklyn, I see you in the building, Clarice. Let's go. Brooklyn, stand the fuck up.
Get it pop. Herb shot.
Appreciate you, nerd.
I'm Bill Blast, Cool G-Rack, crack spots in Brooklyn. With an 18 raised the murder rate out in Brooklyn. Tight robbed his own mom's church in Brooklyn. We was wild in the tunnel, niggas got their shots took.
Boy, I'm so Brooklyn, niggas know my name. Shit they said every time a nigga missing their chain. Had to do it for the dollars, I ain't do it for fame. Had to shoot 100 niggas just to work on my aim.
We ain't aiming at your leg, double tapping your brain.
Leave his body on the floor, blood flow in the drain.
They light candles on his ass, we gon' spit through a game.
For 40 days, 40 nights, niggas making it rain.
You get knocked for that body, better not say a name.
Shit, we took the same oath, my chain and your chain.
I'm from the old Brooklyn, nigga, you know how we play.
This whole team get it, spread love the Brooklyn way.
I did drive-bys, nigga, book dice games, nigga. From picking Ave to Blake Birdman to Miller.
My gun game sick, can't name a nigga illa. Had to fire on this nigga just to show him I was realer.
I had to fire on my man, he was fucking with the eye.
Had to fire on this nigga, he was talking to the cops.
Had to fire on the nigga, he was fronting on my block.
Man, I fired on this nigga, he was looking at my watch.
I'm so Brooklyn, nigga.
And when I'm out of town, they call me Brooklyn, nigga.
From Detroit to LA to NC,
NC,
nigga.
From Jersey back to the Barclay, nigga. To Labor Day parades on the Parkway, nigga.
The Callaloo dumbing in the arc, my nigga.
I remember from the lab, land it spark, my nigga.
I rep East New York from the start, my nigga.
In Crown Heights, y'all got my heart, my nigga.
In Crown Heights, y'all got my heart, my niggas. In Crown Heights, y'all got my heart, my niggas. Big Dice stamped that. In Crown Heights, y'all got my heart, my niggas. I can't help it. I can't help where I'm from. You supposed to rep where you from, just like I rep where I'm from. But it's, you know, you see what the hat say, y'all. It's Brooklyn versus everybody, man. It's Brooklyn versus everybody, man. I feel how I feel, but it's a peaceful thing because we spread love. Like Green Eye said, we spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Just make sure you keep us in that mood where we want to be in that loving spirit, because you know the opposite of love. You know the opposite of love, right, y'all? Hate. Shout out to Artist Morrison for the interview and for the best motherfucking intro of the year. Let's get into this before we get into this work, because we got to start thinking right. It's still got to start thinking right. Let's go. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Y'all already know. Louis V, I see you in the building, beloved. We got Louis V in the building, man. Facts of life. Let's get into this work. Y'all know I did the story earlier about the stabbing and everything in Queens. And then, unfortunately, the young man cut the police also, and then the police, unfortunately, killed him. This is the man right here that, unfortunately, was 38 years old, y'all. He was 38 years old. 38 years old. 38 years old. Omni, I see you. Salute. I see you in the building, beloved. 38 years old, y'all. 38 years old, and he was cool. Gumbo Chick, I see you in the building. Where you been, girl? Where you been, girl? Smoking that gumbo. Made you look like Dumbo. FTC Vice. All of the people is pulling up, y'all. City Bama's in the building. We here. Everybody here. Shout out to Ron Boggs. Y'all know Ron Boggs be shaking and baking. Keisha, I see you in the building. She is here. Everybody's pulling up. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keeps me pissy. Girls used to miss me, and now they write letters because they... I appreciate that too. Omni said, damn, oh shit, I finally caught the live. That's right. That's right. We here. I told y'all, do me a favor, make sure y'all bell notifications is hit for everybody that you subscribe to, not just myself. Make sure your bell notifications are intact, because number one, for some reason, bell notifications be jumping off. They just be knocking off mysteriously. They knock my bell notification off for Dog Soldier. They knock my bell notification off for Sheep State Bay TV. I'm starting to notice something, y'all. I'm starting to notice something, but I'm gonna pay attention. But you notice everybody was talking about that situation earlier. And I told y'all, this all started from back in the days when they came back with the pandemic, when they separated us away from our families, when they separated us away from our jobs, when they separated it away from our sociality and our social interaction skills, and then they just clashed us back together. Let me show y'all what's going on. This is the follow-up. This is the follow-up on what I was talking about earlier. This is the part people didn't pay attention about. I said it first. Remember who said it first. You can't be judging everybody, y'all. You got to read that book first.
This Monday afternoon with a gruesome crime spree in Queens. Police say a man killed 4 members of his own family and injured 2 others. That man later shot and killed by police after he slashed 2 officers with a knife. And good afternoon to you. I'm Liz Chow.
And I'm Joe Torres in for David Navarro. Investigators say the situation could have been even worse had it not been for those two officers. They responded to the scene in Far Rockaway early yesterday morning after getting a call from a woman who said her cousin was stabbing family members.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim spoke with the suspect's family. He is in the Eastchester section of the Bronx with the story. Stefan.
You did? You see? My fault, y'all. I pulled up the wrong one. My fault. Give me 2 seconds. I pulled up the wrong one. Before we get into that, I ain't gonna have y'all just sitting here like y'all crazy. Let's get into this work.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough and he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas round? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds were cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. Hold these expensive clothes like was that smart? Now they uploading they clothes on the Poshmark. Switch baby, careful with this. I mean this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like high from who? Bound to put your car on skates. You think you slide through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough and he still told.
It's crazy, y'all. I got to stop smoking this ooh-wee. It actually was the right one. It just started out the same way. Pardon me again, y'all. Let's get into this work. The family member speaks up now after everything is over. Let's go.
Gruesome crime spree in Queens. Police say a man killed 4 members of his own family and injured 2 others. That man later shot and killed by police after he slashed 2 officers with a knife. And good afternoon to you. I'm Liz Chow.
And I'm Joe Torres in for David Navarro. Investigators say the situation could have been even worse had it not been for those 2 officers. They responded to the scene in Far Rockaway early yesterday morning after getting a call from a woman who said her cousin was stabbing family members.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim spoke with the suspect's family. He is in the Eastchester section of the Bronx with the story. Stefan.
Well, Liz and Joe, his family members here in the Bronx say his mental health breakdown was both sudden and dramatic. Sometime this year, they noticed it. They tried to get him help, but he refused it. So that's why they kicked him out. And that's why he recently been living with the other side of his family in Far Rockaway.
My mom would always say to lock your door. She locked her door.
Sean McCoy says his family started fearing for their safety. His cousin, 38-year-old Courtney Gordon, had been living in this room on the ground floor of his family's Bronx home. The suspect's aunt in the Bronx says they recently got into an argument because he thought the security cameras in the home were watching him. A few months ago, they tried to get him help.
Help was granted, help was offered, but he said he was fine. The sister tried to get in touch with the mental institution because they noticed that something was going on, and they did come to get Courtney to help him. And he...
Dunbars, I see you in the building. You see what I mean, y'all? FTC, you see what I mean? Everybody looks at situations and we throw a dart and we put a jacket on somebody without looking at the whole situation from a totality. From a totality. Remember what I told y'all, man? Employment. Pay attention. I will never take this down. I'm going to leave this up from now on. Because unfortunately, like myself, I was talking about myself when I did the first show on mental illness. So I didn't want nobody to think I was throwing shots at nobody else. If you go to that mental illness, I talk about myself, things I went through as a child, things I went through with my family, things I watched my family go through, but it all resorts from This right here. What causes mental health problems? Childhood abuse, trauma, or neglect, social isolation or loneliness, experiencing discrimination or some type of stigma like racism, social disadvantage. Pay attention to this. Poverty or debt, bereavement, losing somebody close to you, severe long-time stress, having long-time physical health condition. Check this out, y'all. Unemployment, or losing your job, homelessness or poor housing, being a long-time carer for a person, and drug and alcohol misuse. Pay attention to what they said. Homelessness. Let's get back into this work, y'all.
He refused. The songs that he would listen to is mostly killing and just the behavior in general. I noticed, I decided that he has to go.
Then this weekend, he allegedly snapped while staying with the other side of his family in Far Rockaway. Cops say he went on a stabbing rampage in their home Sunday morning around 5 a.m., killing 4 relatives, including 2 kids, before attacking 2 responding police officers. When cops arrived on scene, Gordon was leaving the driveway with luggage. He slashed both cops with a kitchen knife. One of the officers then shot and killed him. Cops found an 11-year-old girl lying on the ground outside the home. Gordon allegedly...
Now, I'm not going to front y'all. I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset. I am a little upset. They said when they got to the scene that he was leaving the home with suitcases. Pay attention, y'all. He was carrying not a suitcase, which would have occupied one hand, carried suitcases. So you mean to tell me trained police officers, how trained are these police officers that when they get to the scene, they get close enough to a man wielding a knife? Which one was it? Was he carrying suitcases? Or was he welding a knife at you? Okay, so say he was carrying a suitcase. Say he was walking down the street with a knife. How many times have we seen standoffs with quote-unquote police officers and people holding knives? So you mean to tell me because you have these guns and you probably was a little bit of upset, aggravated, or felt a little embarrassed, just my opinion. It's no such thing as a bad opinion, but because you're supposed to be a trained police officer, you let a suspect that just committed a horrific crime cut you with a knife. How did that suspect get that close to you to cut you? But you didn't pull out your taser. See, this is the part nobody ain't going to talk about except me. I'm going to tell y'all about something. You didn't pull out them tasers. 40,000 volts of electricity with prongs? So none of the police officers said, you know what? This might be the suspect. You see the knife in your hand. The first thing you see on a standoff, if a suspect has a knife or any type of knife in his hand, not a gun, a knife in his hand, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to draw the taser guns. And then if you take a step towards the police officer, they're going to tase you. But he was gunned down?
Also set fire to a couch in the living room. After firefighters put that out, cops found 3 others dead inside: a 12-year-old boy, a 44-year-old woman, and a 30-year-old man. A 61-year-old woman who suffered multiple stab wounds is in critical condition. The 2 officers were both released from the hospital last night. Relatives say Gordon was driving for a rideshare service, but his car had broken down.
Pay attention to something, y'all. And I'm not a racist, but I just want you to pay attention to something.
A 61-year-old woman who suffered multiple stab wounds is in critical condition. The 2 officers were both released from the hospital last night. Relatives say
one more time, I want y'all to pay attention to this.
A boy, a 44-year-old woman, and a 30-year-old man. A 61-year-old woman who suffered multiple stab wounds is in critical condition. The 2 officers were both released from the hospital last night. A 61-year-old woman who suffered multiple stab wounds is in critical condition. The two officers.
It seems like right now to me, I ain't even think about that. Great point, nerd. He said they got robots. Where the AI robots? Dog Soldier said respectfully, where's the dogs in these situations? So you mean to tell me somebody wielding a knife, you wouldn't send trained attack dogs to go take down and subdue? But look what they're doing. They're treating him like they're rewarding him. I'm not trying to pull a race card because this has nothing to do with race. I'm not going to get up here and talk about, a white police officer killed a black man. Nah, I'm dead ass serious. This ain't got nothing to do with race. This has something to do with humanity. This has something to do with humanity. If it would have been a black officer that shot the black man, it still would have had something to do with humanity. But it seems like right here, maybe I'm bugging. I want y'all to pay attention to the police officer as he's escorted out of the hospital in a wheelchair and he's paraded with a group of people. Let's see if this seems normal.
A 30-year-old man. A 61-year-old woman who suffered multiple stab wounds is in critical
Walaikum
condition.
salam, sister.
The two officers were both released from the hospital last night. Relatives say Gordon was driving for a rideshare service, but his car had broken down, so he may have been out of work. He was on medication, but stopped taking it.
You can see that the clues of what he did. You were just seeing it. Like he would yell very loud at the top of his voice. Yeah. So it kind of would bring everybody into this kind of, let me not talk to him because I don't know if he's gonna know what he's about.
Now,
yeah, that's messed up, man. They said the man was doing somewhat Uber work. His car broke down. No longer employed. No longer employed. Pay attention. He was living with his aunt. His aunt told him because of his erratic behavior, he started looking at the surveillance in the home. In his mind, the surveillance in the home was targeting just him. Tell you when that mind goes crazy, or that mind gets you to hallucinating, or that mind gets you to believing certain things that don't exist. He started thinking that something that was in the home to protect them in case of someone breaking into their home was purposely following him all around the house. The mother said he got to go. I can't deal with this no more. He's becoming erratic. He's not on his medication. Pay attention to this, y'all. He was no longer taking his medication. See, the bug part about taking his medication is that people don't want to talk about. In order to get your legal medication, if you're going through mental illness like suppressants or antidepressants, you have to have insurance. You have to have insurance to get medicine. But if they just told you he lost his job, you know if you lose your job, you lose your insurance benefits also. You know that, right, ladies and gentlemen? And they said shortly after that is when he started becoming erratic, very aggressive, seeming demanding. They insisted that he went and got some help. And what's the first thing we say? This doesn't have nothing to do with color, but when it comes to black people, what's the first thing we say? Yo, what's wrong? You all right? Nah, ain't nothing. I'm all right. I'm good. That's the first thing that comes out of our mouth. Nothing's wrong. I'm all right. I'm good. You sure? You look a little off. Your vibe, your energy is off. Nah, I'm all right. We smile. Nah, that ain't nothing, man. I was thinking about some bullshit. Because we don't talk to each other. Yo, I just noticed this, shout out to Green Eyes, man. A lot of people today are not in touch with reality. People would rather live in a fantasy world instead of dealing with reality. You know, if you get hit by a car, there's some people that be like, yo, that don't hurt. Yes, that shit do. It's some niggas that they get shot. That shit ain't about nothing. I've been shot before. That shit still hurt. And instead of them thanking Allah for being alive or surviving the first gunshot wound and now surviving another gunshot wound, the arrogance overtakes their mind because instead of them saying, thank you for letting me live, they're saying, so what? I've been through this before. I'm unstoppable. Dum-da-dum. That's mental illness. That's mental illness, y'all. That's mental illness. See what she said? In the South, people mind their business when they shouldn't be. Like when a known sexual predator is around. I know exactly what she's talking about. Hey, Meek, what's up, girl? I see you in the building. Like down here in the South, when they know that uncle or that nephew or that cousin is attracted to children, what they do is they don't tell everybody, but what they do is they talk amongst each other and say, you make sure you don't let that baby go over there, go over to that house by itself. Baby Grizz, I see you in the building, beloved. But nobody's calling the police. Shit, nobody's taking street law. Fuck the police. We should be able to take street law on that. You're sexually assaulting someone, an adult or a child. You're overly aggressively, sexually exerting yourself on somebody against their will. It's your law. We should be able to take law on that. Truth Lady said, no street justice neither. I'm still trying. Keep praying for me. Keep praying for me. I can't help it, but that does come to my mind. She said predators should be checked immediately. I say predators should be killed immediately. I say they should be, just like in Islamic law, they should be tied or chained to a wall. And the brothers and the fathers of the people that were sexually abused should be all handed AK-47s, and they should shoot them until they are dead. This is Islamic law. This is Islamic law. They should be chained to a fucking wall in front of everyone. They should first be humiliated and shamed. And then whoever they sexually assaulted, their brothers and their fathers should be given fully automatic weapons. Matter of fact, they should be given any weapon that they want to take their lives. That's simple and plain. Death to all pedophiles. But this right here is a situation pertaining to something that we all go through in the hood. PTSD. Post-traumatic stress syndrome disorder. That's what PTSD stands for, like LOL, laugh out loud, like BKLYN, Brooklyn acronym. PTSD stands for post-traumatic trauma, impactful, post-traumatic, impactful trauma, post-traumatic disorder syndrome. I'm a little dyslexic. I put PTSD. It was supposed to be PTDS. I'm sorry. Post-traumatic syndrome. Oh, yeah, I did it right. Post-traumatic syndrome disorder. But they don't talk about that because you know why? Everybody want to be like this. Shh. Shh. Everybody be like, don't tell everybody. That's what they do down here in the South. Don't tell everybody because they're embarrassed. But this has been passed down, like I told y'all before, from our ancestors pertaining to slavery, because if certain situations were erupted between one in particular family, that family was sold off separately. So the mother would be sold off, or the son would be sold off, or the daughters would be sold off, or the grandmother would be sold off to somewhere that you would never know. So what they do, because in fear of family being separated and stripped apart, they tell us to be quiet and don't talk about things because you're making trouble for the massa. But what about them children that grow up with resentment? What about them children that grow up with social disorders and they don't even know how to be themselves? What about, unfortunately, the children, men and women, little boys and little girls that were sexually abused and nothing was done about it? Their parents said, don't say nothing about it because that's your uncle. Don't say nothing about it. That's your cousin. From now on, we're not going to let you go over there. How about the parents that blame their daughters or blame their sons? You shouldn't have been over there being fast. You see what Diddy said? Y'all want to be tough? Go on over there to daddy's house. Let's see how tough you is. Puff got a bunch of big niggas over there. You see what he doing to niggas? It's not just women, allegedly, that he's raping. You hear what he said? He's raping women, drugging them, and he's recording it and then blackmailing. He's not only doing that to women, he's done that to men, allegedly. Everybody's talking now. Rest in peace to Black Rob. Rest in peace to Craig Mack. I just did the show the other night. Were you paying attention? He said that's where the children should be seen and not heard pop up. That's a fact. They got family members. I told y'all about my uncle down here that got my little cousin pregnant. I told y'all about this. Alhamdulillah. Shout out to Truth Lady in the building. This shit it seems like a normality down here. But when I wanted to whip my uncle out, they told me, listen what they told me, y'all. Dice, you can't be coming down here starting no problems. I can't be coming down here starting no problems. You know how bad that shit hurt me? I'm sitting in my family's get-together at a family reunion. We sitting out eating, and then my cousin, got my little cousins pregnant. And my little cousin mother is his sister. And my little cousin's mother is his sister. You see what Clarice said? She said, respectfully, that man lost himself and auntie told him, you got to leave. See, people don't want to throw you out because they want to throw you out. People want to throw you out because they don't know how to help you with your problems and they become scared. And I'm sorry you went through that, Truth Lady. I am so sorry. I'm dead serious right now. Truth Lady said, they said the same thing to me. Truth Lady, I got family members that I really don't deal with. I'm dead ass serious. I really have people of my same blood and DNA. Thank God I got my segment and my side, but I don't play with people when it comes to certain stuff. That's why people be saying Dice is too serious or Dice is too sensitive or Dice is not that serious. Yes, it is. Stop telling Dice what's not sensitive, what's not serious. To you, it's not sensitive because maybe you don't possess the same moral compass that I do. That's why it's not that serious to you, because your integrity is not on the same level as mine. I'm not going to say it's lower than mine, but maybe you just haven't been taught certain things. Maybe you haven't went through certain things to make you really start paying attention to morale, integrity. You got to have a certain discipline as a human being, as an adult. We're not children anymore. When we were children, we made what? Erratic moves, irrational moves without thinking. Daredevil moves. But we're adults now. See me, I'm 51 years old. Just made 51, September the 10th. And I act my age. I try to act a little younger. You know, I keep me a little good baseball hat. I keep a good little pair. You know, I try to blend in my, you know. But I'm not going to go to church with a Brooklyn versus everybody hat on and a motherfucking Nike thermal Like, I'm not going to church like that. Even though I can go to church like that, I was taught something different. I'm going to go in there with a button-up shirt, a pair of khakis, a nice boat shoe, or a hard-bottom shoe, you know, a Rockport or something, you know, a Wallaby, a nice Clark or something, to show the respect that was taught to me when I walk into what? The house of God, as they say. But it's not the house of God. It's in the presence of God and goddesses. That's the way I look. When I'm in the presence of God and goddesses, I want to be respected, I want to be embraced, and I want to be treated as a god also. I don't want to be looked upon as a peasant. Mental health. Mental health. Pay attention to this right here. Look at this situation. This is crazy. Mental health. Y'all heard? Mental health. Pay attention to this.
Is exclusive. For the first time, we're hearing from a relative of an elderly woman accused of shooting and killing her grandson.
We first told you about the story last week. 76-year-old Mary Jordan charged with murder in the death of Dana Jordan. Court documents say she has confessed to the crime.
And tonight, a family member is detailing what may have led up to it. Our Ariel Mallory in the studio now.
Ariel, you said she was the very first person Mary Jordan called after the shooting.
Yeah, that's right, Lenise and Byron. I sat down with Alfay Prince, the cousin to Mary and Dana Jordan. She says she refused to believe what her cousin was telling her, could never see her doing something like this. Well, she quickly realized how real it was when she drove to her house and saw all the police.
They know Mary wouldn't do nothing like that if she didn't have to. That's what I would say. And Mary would say, I'm sorry.
Still a lot of questions surrounding what led 76-year-old Mary Jordan to allegedly shoot and kill her grandson, Dana Jordan. Tonight, one family member is speaking out.
This woman is 76 years old, y'all. 76 years old. We have another situation. Check this out. What's going on with the world that all these grown men are feeling as though the best place for them to go live is with their grandmother? Now, who the hell do we blame for that? Seriously. Why are all these men thinking that it's okay to go live with your grandmother? Whatever happened to the real gangsters that are thugging out in the street? Whatever happened to going to sleep on the train? Whatever happened to riding the train from stop to stop just to get some motherfucking rest? Whatever happened getting on a bus, riding it from stop to stop to get some rest? Whatever happened going to a 4 for 40 or a 6 for 60? Getting you some sleep? Whatever happened to going to sleep in your car? Why are all these men deciding that it's cool to go to their grandmother's homes? Is that their parents' fault? I noticed this a lot, even from when I was younger. A lot of responsibilities of the parents were left to their parents. They out in the street getting high. They out in the street doing whatever they want to do and living their life, sowing their oats, getting their experiences. But them grandbabies is always left behind with the grandmothers. What is this, a leave? What is this, some type of syndrome or something? What's up with these men deciding to live with these? Let's go, man.
Out hoping to answer some of those questions. This was the scene at Mary Jordan's house on Circle Drive Wednesday morning. Crime tapes surrounding the home. Alfay Prince, Jordan's cousin, says she got a call early that morning, hearing something she couldn't believe.
She called me back. And I told you I got to go to the doctor. She said, I just...
Yo, and bless this woman's heart right here, y'all, because one thing that these older women say down here in the South, and some of these older couples down here, bless this woman's heart. She said, don't be calling me. Why you keep calling me? When they got to go to the doctor down here, when these Southern people have a doctor's appointment, am I lying, truth lady? When they got to go to the doctor, they go to the doctor. They don't believe in being late. or rescheduling no doctor's appointment. When these old timers down here say they got a doctor's appointment, they got a doctor's appointment.
Killed Dana. That's all, girl. Stop playing. You know you ain't killed nobody.
Prince says she quickly realized it was no joke. Pritchard police say the 38-year-old was shot multiple times. Court documents say Mary was upset with her grandson from the night before. According to Prince, issues between the two started building up long before the shooting.
I don't know what kind of hope he had on Mary, but he had a hope on her. And I think she was defending herself. I don't know what it was, but I know every time she talked to me, it was all about money.
Prince says the victim had been living with his grandmother for some time and says Jordan started noticing things missing.
First, he got $800. Then he came back for $400.
8 and 4 is 12. You see what Big Mama said? Bless her heart, man. Look like one of my aunts, man. Look like my Aunt Estimate talking about first things started missing. First, he took $800. He took $800 from this woman right here. Pay attention to this. He took $800 from this woman right here, 76 years old. Look at this woman right here, y'all. 76 years old, and they said she had to kill her grandson. First time he came up, she gave him $800, and then he came back and took $400. 8 and 4 is 12. $1,200 from a woman that's looking like she's on a fixed income. And now she's in jail. I don't even think that she should be in prison. Even if they're going to go as far as do some sucker shit and charge her, I don't even think she should be in prison. I think she should be released on her own recognizance. Take her, charge her, and send her home. Just like Big Mama said, she feels as though that she was trying to defend herself.
That he took. Then Mo, that was the balling point right there. You taking everything I got.
At one point, Prince couldn't hold back her emotions as she's still in shock at what was happening in her family. She feels Mary tried to do everything she could to help Dana.
Mary just wouldn't do that. I mean, Dana was her favorite. You get that old, you're supposed to relax. And she don't need to relax in that way. Not in jail for trying to get somebody off of her.
Boy, you know that woman love her. See, when you got them old timers that be like this, them old timers that talk like that, that breaks my heart right there, man. This could be my family,
Don't
man.
need to relax in that way. Not in jail for trying to get somebody off of her.
Now, Mary Jordan is still in Metro Jail being held on a $100,000 bond. She's scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday. Now, according to court documents, she does not have a criminal history. Live tonight in the studio, Ariel Mallory, Fox 10 News.
See, that's one thing that's actually a good thing down here in North Carolina. That's actually not a high bond down here. That's not a high bail down here. See, in New York, if somebody says they got $100,000, they want that bread before you come home, but you can get a bail's bondsman, and the percentages is crazy. But down here for $100,000, she can come home right now for $10,000. She can come home right now for $15,000 because sometimes they do 10%, sometimes they do 15%. But on the other half of it, she doesn't have to pay the whole $15,000. See, the bail bondsmen down here, they will make a payment arrangement with you. Grandma get him about $1,500 right now. They're going to throw an ankle bracelet on her, and they're going to send her on home. Because this right here is a situation that the district attorney should take into their own hands. And instead of thinking about what's going down, unfortunately, someone was killed. Rest in peace. Her grandson. And they said one of her favorite grandchild had to be, if she gave him $800 cash, 76 years old, had to be. And then he came back and took an additional $400. That's when the camel broke, the straw broke the camel's back. Just like, unfortunately, rest in peace to Marvin Gaye and his father. Because Marvin Gaye, unfortunately, became to the addiction of heroin. They said Marvin Gaye used to come back and forth to his house and he used to demand money from his father and them because they were his what? His overseers of his money because of his addiction. But that one particular night, his mother said that Marvin Gaye, rest in peace, and Marvin Gaye Sr. was having an argument. But this particular night, Marvin Gaye Sr. went back to the back room and told him, just make sure he leaves, because tonight, if he comes in my room, the way he's acting, I will kill him. Artist Morrison, I see you in the building. Salute. Yes, ma'am, Truth Lady. FTC said they need to release Grandma with her charges dropped. With the charges dropped. With the charges dropped. They ain't even letting people know what's going on. Shout out the Way to Black, man. They ain't even letting people know what's going on. Shout out the Way to Black, man, and Miss Dior. This is their new single right here, y'all. Tell me how y'all like it. Big Dice said it is stamped. Let's go.
Go crazy, go dumb. Shorty gon' rock to the beat like a drum. Go crazy, go dumb. Shorty gon' rock to the beat like a drum. Go crazy, go dumb. Go crazy, go dumb. Go crazy, go dumb. Shorty gon' rock to the beat like a Go crazy, go dumb. Shake it, go crazy, go dumb. Shorty gon' rock to the beat like a I'm going dumb. I'm a forbidden, I'm numb. I do my dance, I dance with my gun. Whoa, wait up. I met a Cuban, no good. I put my thumb in the pudding. I did it, they said it, I couldn't. Whoa, I'm with the biggest stunner of all. Off my bitch off one day, next day I go buy that bitch a more. I flip one brick, I flip two brick, then I buy that bitch a car. I pop one pill, I pop two pill, now a nigga out of more.
Get crazy, go dumb, better get sturdy for fun. Aim it, I load it, they run. Lethal night needles get litty, go none. Shooters like Katie and Grady. Bring up my jersey, I'm patiently waiting. I'm in the garden with Adam, just eating. I ain't in the zone if they paying. Sweating the rookie, but no, I'm the realest. Bitches be playing, but no, I'm the illest. Pretty and trapping, so bitch, I'm the trillest. Been stacking my paper, that's why I'm the biggest. That's why I'm the biggest. That's why I'm
go crazy, go dumb. Shorty gon' rock to the beat like a drum. Go crazy, go dumb. Shorty gon' rock to the beat like a drum. Go crazy, go dumb. Shake it, go crazy, go dumb. Me, I'm as lit as they come. I'm starting with Mrs. Dior. If I up it, I click it, they run. Bitches, they come to the door. I gotta talk it more. It feel like I'm fucking a raw. Gucci the fit, broken the bag. Fuck it, I'm buying it all.
I'm in the deli when I'm on the block. Bust down the peanut, order the chop. Serve them the bean and I yell at the op. Brooklyn, New York, the hustle don't stop. Bet they gon' move off the rock of my hips. I hit my dance when I'm making them hits. Rockin' Dior when I start in the strip. I'm with the gang, you know they are.
That little motherfucker sexy as hell, but she scared me. Fuck that. Fuck that. She's sexy as hell, but she scared me. She too goddamn aggressive for me. Hell no. Ain't that some shit, y'all? Y'all be in the crib chilling. You be dead, sleep in the house, and next thing you know, that shit blasting in the living room. I'm going dumb. Scared my ass to death. Hell no. She a goddamn gangster. It's wintertime, and she had on a halter top. She wasn't even cold. Bless her heart, but she's a gangster. That's that Brooklyn shit, man. Shout out the way to Black. But how y'all feel about second chances? Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think a 16-year-old child should be given life if he committed a murder? $18 people in the building. Let me see that. Put up a 1 if you think a 16-year-old child should be given life for murder. Put up a 2 if you feel as though they shouldn't. $16 years old. I remember what I'm saying. A 16-year-old child. You know, some people, their brain does not even develop till 27, and they just said some people's brain does not develop until 29. 16 years old, do you think a 16-year-old child should be given the rest of his or her natural life for murder? Nerd said, yeah, if it was gruesome. So that's one person that says yes. How many other people? Talk to me. Dog Soldier said, I can't say without knowing the crime. Gotta respect that. It's no such thing as a bad answer. Nerd said, if it was a gruesome one, hell yeah. Clarice said, it depends as far as I'm concerned. It's no such thing as no bad answer. I say no. Me personally, I say no. The reason why I personally say no is because at 16 years old, certain things that are done by a 16-year-old are usually done because of an impression that has been implanted in his seed, a seed that's been implanted in his body, meaning a way of life that was instructed or shown to him to live. And as a child, without knowing the difference between right and wrong, without knowing the full comprehension of right and wrong, gravitate to these things and embellish these personalities. Think about it. When some of us grew up rhyming, think about it. Look at Noriega. Look at CNN. Their name is Noriega and Capone. Capone was a gangster. Noriega was what? Against the motherfucking government. Just like Fidel Castro. Just like Saddam Hussein. Allegedly. Allegedly. Cinnamon T, how you doing, girl? She said, much respect, been missing alive, had a promotion at my job. Done back with the training, I'm back. Well, at least you got that promotion. Because that's from that discipline, dedication, and that devotion.
The streets ain't never loved me. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah. The streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried. Tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly. My phone, they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me. Yeah. You know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in a hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sip of my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture, I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Get him Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Job, that's my brother, you know we moving tight. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, marriage shit, it's how we music, nigga.
This situation might have been a little different, though, y'all. This might have been a little different. 16-year-old killed somebody. Matter of fact, I'm just going to let y'all deal with it and see how y'all feel about it. Send me how you feel.
At noon today, the man responsible for one of Kent County's most horrific killings will get a chance at freedom. Within the past hour, a Kent County judge ruled that Federico Kiko Cruz will be resentenced to a number of years later this summer. Cruz has spent decades in prison for killing 17-year-old David Crawford in the Sparta area in 1996. At the time, he was sentenced to mandatory life in prison, but the Supreme Court has ruled juveniles cannot automatically receive life behind bars. Judge Mark Trusak ruled that Cruz will get a chance at leaving prison.
Here, the defendant was 16 years old when this happened. Whether the defendant was mature or his immaturity, there is no question in my mind that the defendant was immature at the time. And I believe.
Y'all heard that right there? He said it was no question in his mind that the defendant was immature. Got locked up in 96. He's been down 25, 26 years. 2006, 2016. That's 20. This is 2024. It's almost going on 30 years. 2026 will be 30 years that a 16-year-old child, we're not disregarding who he killed, may they rest in peace. We're not disregarding that. We're not talking about a 22-year-old child, 22-year-old man. We're not talking about a 31-year-old man. We're not talking about a 40-year-old man. We're not talking about a 50-year-old man. We're not even talking about a 25-year-old man. We're talking about a 16-year-old child. A judge finally decides, you know what? After almost 30 years in jail, his charge should be hit with a release date. They're not saying that they won't release him on parole. They're not saying they're not going to give him anything on the background to hold over his head, but they told him he deserves a new release date. Due to circumstances, And due to the law, a minor is legally not supposed to be sentenced to life. If you're under the age of 21 years old, you are not supposed to be sentenced to life. He said they're just now giving him a retrial. They passed the law back in 2016. He should have never got that sentence years ago. He should have got a new sentence years ago. Omni said, I think that's enough time. Prayers to the victim's family. Of course. I feel the same way, and that's right. Prayers to the victim's family. But look at the remorse in his face. I want to take this back.
First up at noon today, the man responsible for one of Kent County's most horrific killings will get a chance at freedom. Within the past hour, a Kent County judge ruled that Federico Kiko Cruz will be resentenced to a number of years later this summer. Cruz has spent decades in prison for killing 17-year-old David Crawford in the Sparta area in 1996. At the time, he was sentenced to mandatory life in prison, but the Supreme Court has ruled juveniles cannot automatically receive life behind bars. Judge Mark Trusak ruled that Cruz will get a chance at leaving prison.
Here, the defendant was 16 years old when this happened. Whether the defendant was mature or his immaturity, there is no question in my mind that the defendant was immature at the time. And I believe that he was suffering a mental illness at the time. After weighing and thinking of everything and applying the law that I'm required to apply, it is the decision of this court that the defendant will be resentenced to a term of years.
Cruz, who is now 44 years old, will learn his new sentence in August. The max sentence would be between 40 to 60 years, and he will receive credit for the 25 years that he's already spent behind bars. News 8's Megan Bunchman is in court getting reaction to this ruling, and you'll see that on News 8 at 5.
They saying he still could get 44 to 60, but they gonna give him the 28 years time served, but he still is eligible because if he's hit with the max. Now, see, this is the part that I don't understand. That's why I say the judicial system is real tricky sometimes. So you mean to tell me he should have been given the chance to be given a reduced sentence because he was never supposed to be given life at all. He was never supposed to be sentenced to life. But now you're telling me he's going to get a date, but he still could be hit with the max of the crime. How could you be hit with the maximum of the crime if initially when you did the crime at the age of 16, you weren't an adult? If that's not double jeopardy, tell me what it is, y'all. So you mean to tell me when he was 16 years old, y'all gave him life. Now, 28 years later, you're saying that he should have never been given life. He's already been given 28 years. That's some people's life already. So why isn't he released right now? Why does he even have to wait till August to find out his fate? They said the maximum of the crime is 44 to 60 years. They said he cut somebody's head off, y'all. So if he cut somebody's head off, I'm not trying to be racist or anything like that. He looks Hispanic. It seems like he might be part of a cartel. This might be an initiation pertaining to what? Who was popping in 1996 when it came to Hispanic organizations or Latino gangs? There was two of them that was popping. The Latin Kings and the more notorious and well-organized pertaining to connections with the cartel. I'm not pertaining to viciousness. MS-13. That's a fact, Omni. That's a fact. MS-13. And they are dangerous. Super salute. Let's keep the prayers up for him, Nerd. Nerd said, I don't think that he can get 40 to 60. I think it's 20 to 30 under the new law. So, like Nerd said, if that's the case, 20 to 30 under the new law, in August, he'll be told he has 2 more years, which will be 30 years. But shouldn't he be given parole for the last 2 years if they're going to give him time served for the 28? Or why isn't he just given time served with a lawsuit? Because number one, he's institutionalized. It's no getting around that. There is no getting around that. He grew up in prison. Unfortunately, to the life that he was exposed to before prison, he was convicted of a heinous crime of cutting someone's head off. Do we know he cut the person's head off? No, but we know he was convicted of it. So one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, even if he didn't in particularly cut the head off of somebody or behead somebody, he was with somebody that cut somebody's motherfucking head off, and they had enough evidence to put him there at that body. Aggressive Defiance, I see you in the building, beloved. Great show tonight. Y'all make sure y'all get over there to Aggressive Defiance, man. Great show over there, man. We on Puffy ass. We ain't playing. We on Puffy. We ain't playing. Just like Truth Lady said, for so many years, see, this is why Puff about to go through what he going through. I took a bet with my cousin, like I told y'all. This is why Puff going through what he puffed through. For so many years, he thought he was building a wall of silence and a wall of protection. No, you was building a wall of witnesses against you, Mr. P. Diddy. Remember I was telling, what was I talking? Yo, FTC, what was the terminology I told y'all that Usher Raymond's mother is suing Puff Daddy for now? Can anybody remember the terminology I said a couple of days back that Usher Raymond's mother is suing Puff Daddy for? Well, I'm going to remind you. She's suing Puff Daddy for over-grooming her son. Not just grooming, over-grooming. Make sure y'all go watch that show Aggressive Defiance TV did earlier. And he got deeper for you. He broke down, even though I know the meaning of it, he broke down the meaning of grooming. A brand new word for coaxing, pedophilia, or homosexuality. A new word for disguising homosexuality or pedophilia. Usher Raymond's mother said, he gave my son a sexually transmitted disease. Usher Raymond was on the Howard Stern show, and Howard Stern asked him, would you have your children at P. Diddy's death? He said, hell no. You know why? Because Usher said he's seen certain things that he didn't even understand what he was seeing. But he understand what he went through. But he understand what he went through. And see, I talk to people. And the reason why I brought that up is because with the situation with the 16-year-old young man that I just showed y'all that was given natural life, that was not supposed to be given life anyway because he was 16. His mental isn't even at the full capacity to be given such an outlandish term. See, I can understand certain things like robbery, murder, assault. But I can't understand no excuse for sexual assault. And the reason why I can't give no excuses or no type of empathy for sexual assault, because some people say how people were raised and some people say what people went through. Of course, we do have to take that for granted. But then we have to think of this. Whenever someone was sexually abused or sexually mishandled or overgroomed, as they say today, if a person experienced that, I would believe that they have that feeling within their self to know that that's wrong. To know that that's wrong. So if you know that's wrong, and unfortunately you might not have been able to defend yourself, unfortunately you might have been young enough and might not have been able to defend yourself, unfortunately you might have been a man or a woman that might have been taken advantage of and you couldn't defend yourself, well, why would you even think about doing that to someone? Why would you even think about doing that to a child? That's why there's no exception for pedophilia to me. Death to all pedophiles. Death to all sexual misconduct abusers. Death to all sexual misconduct abusers. That's just a simple fact. But to be 16 years old and to probably be involved allegedly with an organization that may feel as though brutality is the only way to advocate respect, to demand respect. Like, cut your family up or take your mother away from you or kill your dog or kill your sister or kill your loved one, you'll stop playing with me. You hear the stories about cartels, allegedly. Then I heard another story about cartels that they don't even do them type of things. Them be militias that be connected to cartels that just carry out certain things they feel as though they should carry out to administer fear into people's hearts that may come in contact or do business with their cartels. I told y'all about Russell Simmons. Remember we was talking about that in the show. Russell Simmons was 37, 38 years old when he met Kimora Lee. She was a 16-year-old high school student that was a model. A lot of people are saying the similarities with her and Russell Simmons are a great similarity to her, Cassie, meaning, and Sean Puffy Combs. You know why? The similarity is these people are sadistic. These people have irregular behaviors that is now uncontrollable because they was getting away with this shit for so long. They look at it like it's normal, like it's right. That's like if you got a puppy and you never train your puppy to go to the bathroom outside and you just allow your puppy to urinate or defecate throughout your house, your puppy's not going to look like he's doing anything wrong because you allow him to do this. You did not train him otherwise, meaning after you feed him, you don't take him outside and take him for a walk. The second you feed him, you don't take him outside for a walk. And then when he does defecate or piss, you don't congratulate him for defecating or urinating outside in the street. You don't reward him for that. So how would he know to hold his bladder or hold his bowel movement when he's in the home after he eats if you can't just automatically take him out? Because, you know, that's for puppies. That's training puppies, you know. The wee-wee pads and all that. Then you take up the wee-wee pads and then you start taking them outside. The wee-wee pad is supposed to be for the cage in front of the cage. The space in front of the cage that may section off for a puppy, because if you got a real purebred dog is not going to sleep where he piss or shit at. Just like a real human being with some sense. They're not going to urinate in their bed. They're not going to defecate in their bed and just turn over and go to sleep. That's savagery. Yo, Shaq, I see you in the building. That's savagery. Same thing with the puppy. Same thing with the cat. You have to still train a cat. But a cat is so intelligent after a while, all you have to do is put down some cat litter. All you have to do is when your cat is starting to move their bowels, or pee, as they say, take it to that kitty litter box. You can have that kitty litter box in the back room, the front room, the backyard, under the bed, in the living room, under the couch, by the fireplace. That cat is so intelligent, no matter when they have to use the bathroom, they are going to stop what they're doing and they're going to go to that pan with that kitty litter because they are trained to do so. They're trained to do so. Just like the young man when he was 16 years old, when somebody probably trained him to cut someone's head off. "16 years old, there's no way for your head to be completely thinking as an adult at 16 years old. Even if you can fend for yourself, you know how to cook, you might babysit, you can shop. Shit, you might be hustling, you might be in the street, you might have your own apartment. But at 16 years old, you're a child. I don't care how grown you think you are. At 16 years old, you are a child. And as you're a child, you should carry yourself as a child. That's why I feel so bad when some parents bestow so much. Some people gonna get mad when some parents bestow so much responsibility on their children. Like watching children that don't belong to the children that you created. Like telling your 16, 17-year-old daughter or 18-year-old daughter, no, you can't go to the movies. No, you can't interact in life. No, you can't socialize in life because you have to watch your little sister or your little brother. That's not the responsibility of children to watch children. This is where you misconstrue and cross up the minds of children. You start making children think they are grown because you start giving them responsibilities that they're not ready for. And that's a fact. I know you disagree, Truth Lady, but you're a woman, respectfully. And what I mean by you're a woman, unfortunately, because of the lack of men and the lack of fathers that step up and protect and take care of their households financially, the responsibility of the financial burden on top of being a responsible mother, a provider, a teacher, a protector, has to be divided. It has to be divided. And it's times when sometimes the only jobs that may be available for a single mother is at a job at night. You notice a lot of single mothers try to get jobs at night because they want to make sure they're home during the day in case something happens to their children. So in all reality, if you're working an overnight or a graveyard shift, you work from 12 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning, and then when you come home, you're waking your children up and taking them to school, you still don't have no time to rest because while your children in school, you're sleeping, but you're sleeping lightly just in case you might get a phone call pertaining to your baby in school. But if you have a partner if you have a man, and men, if you have a partner, because there are single fathers out here also. The same things that are laid against some women to do with their children when it comes to babysitting, some men have to do this also. Yo, you the oldest. You know you got to take care of your little brother. You got to take care of your little sister because I have to go to work. You know you're the oldest. You got to take care, hold me up, help me up around the house. Take care of your little brother and little sister because I have to go to work. And then, you know, when I get home from work, I'm going to get an hour or two, and then I got to go back to my second job. And vice versa, because there are women that also carry these loads also. But I don't care what nobody say. And I stand on this. You should not, I repeat, you should not behold the responsibility of you opening your legs to somebody that you created. That's not their responsibility, and it's not their job. Children are here to be children. I think children should be molded and should be allowed to grow as children. I don't think, quote unquote, it should be an obligation for a child to tell her friends, oh, I can't, or his friend, I can't go to the park to play ball because I have to watch my little brother or sister because my mother has to go to work. That's not right. If that's the case, you should get 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 jobs, and you can get a babysitter because that's what babysitters are for. That's what daycare centers are for, to watch our children when we have to go to work. That's not the obligation and the job of our children to watch their little brothers or sisters, their siblings. These are siblings of theirs. They're supposed to interact and grow with them and mature. They're not supposed to raise them and watch them. They're not supposed to raise them and watch them. These are facts. And the reason why they're not supposed to raise them and watch them, because I have family members that grew up and talked about this and advocated this. I dated females that spoke to me about this. This is why a couple of females I've dated resent their mothers to this day, because they said they never had the opportunity to be teenagers because they always had to watch their mother's children. These is facts. These is facts. These is facts. These is facts. I have had a woman tell me I used to hate my mother. If I'm lying, may I never hug my mother again. I had more than one woman tell me I used to hate my mother because she always made me watch her children. She didn't say, both women never said she always made me watch my brother and sister. That's how much resentment was built up. She always makes me watch her children. This is the resentment I heard in the mouth. It's not even coming out my mother. She always makes me watch her children. That's a fact. Your mother, that's right. We are siblings. My brother and my sister are my siblings. They're not my children. People don't want to admit this, but this creates resentment between children too. They made humor in that on Good Times when, quote unquote, Florida and James went away for the weekend. What did they say? They left JJ in charge. They didn't leave JJ in charge because he was the most mature out of them. The most mature out of the family was Thelma. Walk with me. But Thelma was the middle child. Michael was the baby. Thelma was the middle child. JJ was the firstborn. So when you say, JJ, you're in charge, or the oldest family member or the oldest child that you have, Derek, you're in charge. Sabrina, you're in charge. Sheila, you're in charge. You're automatically telling your other children you don't trust them. You don't have no interest in them. You feel as though they have to be watched or monitored. Because if they are siblings, They are all siblings. Why aren't they treated the same way? It's totally unfair for my brother because my mother or father said they want to go out. Now it's my brother's duty to tell me what to do, because you fail to realize children don't know how to administrate and advocate authority. Children emulate what they see, not what they understand. Children emulate what they see, not what they understand. Because if children understood what they saw, there wouldn't be so many unprotected pregnancies. There wouldn't be so many unwanted babies. There wouldn't be so many children having babies. There wouldn't be so many children watching babies. And see, this is what people fail to realize too. We got to stop doing this shit too. Women, you got to stop doing this. Because my mother, when she did this to me, she opened a can of worms. So a lot of you women, you may get upset what I'm getting ready to say, but you're naive. Stop leaving teenagers home by themselves. You didn't notice, just like I said, we're going to go back to good times. When Florida and James and them broke out, you know Valona kept popping up every motherfucking hour? You're not supposed to leave. First of all, the saying is you can be 18 to party. But it's 21 to drink. I think it should be 21 to party. And 25 to drink. That's another way the world has made our babies think they were grown. 18 to party and 21 to drink. That shit don't even make no sense. There are not that many mature 21-year-old and 18-year-olds. So you mean to tell me if my child is 18 years old, he got the right to come tell me, I can disregard the fact that you gave me a curfew, Pop. Listen to what we're teaching our children. If you're telling my son at 18 years old, he can party without an adult or what you call a chaperone, and you're telling me that at 21, he can engage in consumption of alcohol without a chaperone, you're telling me you want my babies to die. You telling me that you want my babies to die. Because at 18 to 21, the only thing we're thinking about in teenagers is fast and furious, getting some money, and sex. Simple and plain. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to talk about. We can debate about this all night. This has nothing to do with a man or a woman. This has something to do with reality. I don't blame the mothers that have to go to work and leave their children home to be babysitting. But then again, I do blame y'all because these are the men that y'all chose. These are the men that y'all chose. You can't punish your children because y'all chose a nigga that's not going to help you raise them. Dummies. You got to put on your big girl panties and rock and roll. You cannot punish your children because of a deadbeat nigga you chose to give them to you. What sense that make? See, that's the problem. Y'all caught up in that bullshit. Y'all caught up in the Matrix. Y'all caught up in the Matrix. And I'm going to get y'all right over here. Y'all caught up in the Matrix. I'm going to get y'all right over here. Because what we want to hear, we ain't gonna never listen to. But when we hear it and it hurt us, that's the one that we pay attention to. Don't nothing hurt a man. Don't nothing hurt a woman. Don't nothing hurt a human being but the truth. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't nothing hurt a human being except the truth. And it's not that the truth hurts you, because we deal with the truth every day. See, the truth, we deal with that every day. See, if you're a piece of shit, you know you're a piece of shit. If you're a promiscuous person, you know you're a promiscuous person. If you soft, you know you soft. If you're illiterate, you know you're illiterate. If you're uncomprehensive, you know you're uncomprehensive. If you can't drive, you know you can't drive. The part that hurts is when somebody else exposes you for it. When somebody else acknowledges it, when you try to conceal it away from the world. When somebody else exposes your flaws, that's what hurts you. It's not your flaw that hurts you, because we all have flaws. It's when somebody exposes your flaw, or somebody tries to capitalize in making a mockery out of you or disrespecting you for your flaws. They don't want to hear the truth. So if you don't want to hear the truth, you better stay the fuck from over here. I am Sharon McLeod's son. And I say that shit adamantly. I am Sharon McLeod's son. And I say that shit adamantly. If you don't stand for what you believe in, you're going to fall for everything else the world wants you to. If you don't stand for what you believe in, everything else the world is doing, you're going to conform. You're going to compile. You're going to turn right into that bullshit. There's 3 types of shit in the world. There's diarrhea. There's hard shit. And then there's clumpy, mushy shit. One more time. There's 3 types of shits in the world. There's diarrhea. It's real loose and runny. There's hard shit. You can pick it up and throw it at each other. And then there's mushy and clumpy shit that if you step on it, it'll get up in the crevices of your gum of your sole or your boot or your foot. But you know, the whole spectacular thing, it's all shit. Did y'all catch that? It's all shit. It's all shit. You just got to choose which shit you want to deal with. You just got to find out what shit you want to deal with. That's why I'm the way I am, because this YouTube, this is some bullshit. This is bullshit. This ain't even regular human doo-doo. This ain't dog shit. This ain't cow shit. This is bullshit. This ain't dog shit. This ain't cow shit. This ain't human shit. This is bullshit. They got people thinking you got to be a sucker MC to be somebody. They got people thinking the suckers is winning. YouTube got the suckers thinking they winning. Y'all, they ain't winning. All of y'all are going to perish in hell together. All of y'all are walking through hell right now. Y'all living through y'all hell. This is just the beginning of what your soul is going to go through. You think you in hell now? Woo! Watch what you go through when your physical leave. See, this version of your life, this is the preview of the movie you was waiting to see. See, your life is like a preview of the movie that you want to see. Some people want to live a dangerous life, so you know the outcome. The motherfucking villain is going to die in the end. Some people want to live a life where everything is okie-dory. And everybody's so in love, la 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 la, and butterflies and kisses and oh yeah. But some people, they watching a preview to something much, much beautiful that's unimaginable. Some people like myself, I can't wait to envision physically God. I can't wait to see God. I can't wait to hold my mother again. I can't wait to hold my grandmother again. I can't wait to talk to my grandfather. I can't wait to talk to my babysitter. I can't wait to talk to people like Mr. Brooksmith, Brother Al. I can't wait to talk to my friend M, my man Lotion, my man Sean from Utica Avenue. There's so many people I know one day I'm going to be around them again. That's the preview I got set up in my head. See, my preview is different. Some people want a horror movie. Some people want a love story. Some people want peace. Some people want God. I chose God and just being free. Being free. Gotta live free, y'all. Even upon death. I have to live free. There's people walking around here every day not caring and not even understanding where they're going or where they're coming from. They're just around. They're just standing around. Like we used to do right here on this corner. We used to just sit back and stand around on this corner. Some people used to come out there and talk to us and stand up on the corner with us because they was just mesmerized by who we were. They just wanted to be a part of something and they wasn't a part of nothing. I watched people waste their lives and hours after hours, endless hours on this corner with us right here, not even part of the movement, but just around because they wanted to say they was around. To this day, I never know what they got from it. Shit, I'm kind of flattered that they wanted to be around me and my team. But what does it all stand for today? See, the best thing I'm living for right now, y'all, is the peace that I've overcame. The peace I've came to a spot where I thought I'd never be. I thought I would never be at peace. I'm at peace. It could be much more peaceful, but I'm so much at peace because I'm never going to my reality to nobody. I don't care what I face, who I go against, how many people it's going to be. You're not going to win. You're never going to prosper because God got me locked up around him. I'm all deep in his bosom. Your arms is definitely too short to box with God. This is not what you want. I tell people don't even think about doing something or don't even think about something bad on me because it's going to go back to you, man, because I'm rubber and you're glue. whatever you throw to me is going to bounce off of me and it's going to stick back onto you. So I tell people, yo, throw love to me, man. Throw all the love you can to me, because the way you throw that love to me, I promise you, that shit'll boomerang right back to you, man. That love will come back to you harder than you ever imagined. If you really, really give me love, I can't speak for nobody else. Me, the boomerang is unbelievable. But see, I don't like that wishy-washy, that washy-wishy. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to love me today, love me today, love me tomorrow. Love me the day after that. Don't take off Thursday and Friday and then get back to loving me maybe Saturday night or Sunday morning, because that's when I'm going to look at you like you lost. Because once you got me looking at you like, damn, why you do that? Once you got me looking at you like, why did you do that? I'm gone. I'm going to wish you the best, but I'm gone. I am gone. I hurt myself before I let somebody hurt me. I promise y'all that. I will hurt myself, y'all, before I let somebody hurt me. It's a lonely world when you're 100% real, but I'm at peace. That might go over your head. It's a lonely world when you're 100% real, but I'm at peace, y'all. I'm at peace with that. Word up. It feels so much better to just not have to go through the bullshit. See, a lot of people, y'all going through shit because you think you got to go through shit. I don't give a fuck who it is. If it's bringing you some type of discomfort, get away from it. Get away from it. You're going to develop an ulcer. You're going to develop gallstones because of stress. You're going to develop ailments trying to make somebody else happy. If the motherfucker ain't trying to make you as happy as you try to make them, God damn it, leave them alone. Like they said, there was an old man that had a gold watch. Gold watch was old, but it was still worth some money. He was married to an old woman. They've been together for years. The problem with the man's old watch is the front glass was broke. And the battery was old, so he had to keep winding it up. The problem with the old lady is her hair was so long at times she would get pain in her neck. Because this was the old days. They didn't have no beauticians like that. They would have to do their own hair. The man went to work every day. He stopped carrying his watch with him because he got tired of winding it up. It was getting on his nerves. The old lady noticed that he started leaving his watch home. So their anniversary was coming up. The old lady went to the drawer to get the watch. The watch was gone. She said, damn, he must have wore the watch. But what she do? She went all the way up to town and she got a haircut because they wanted to pay for her hair. Because she had beautiful hair that she'd been growing for years. The whole time the man took the watch, he wasn't wearing it to work. He wasn't wearing it to work. He went and sold the watch because their anniversary was coming up. On the day of the anniversary, the old lady came in and said, "Baby, you like my hairstyle?" He said, "What you do with your hair?" She said, "I stole it. I cut it." And she said, "Here's the money. Because I want you to take that old watch and get the glass fixed and get you a brand new battery. That's how much I love you." The old man went in his back pocket and he pulled out a scissor. She said, "Baby, what you doing?" He said, "I sold that old watch." She said, "Why did you sell the watch?" He said, "Because I was tired of your neck hurting, baby. And I bought you these scissors for you can cut the hair how long you want it, for you would be no longer in pain." So he gave her some scissors. She gave him some money. But do you understand what they gave each other? You understand what they gave each other? Love.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything that exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?